Welcome back to Vintage Steel Garage. Today we're doing a quick oil change on the Range Rover Sport. Okay, so plenty going on in the garage today and I need to do a quick oil change on the Range Rover Sport. When I got it, it had 115,000 miles on it. It's now got 129,000 miles on it, so it's done 14,000 miles since the last oil change. Did the pollen filter and the air filter last time. They're good for 30,000 miles, so I can leave those. The oil change is pretty quick on this car. It's a good design. It's rather than a cartridge, it's a filter element, and it's done from the top, so you don't have to put your hand up the back of the engine, unscrew it and get the oil dribbling down your arm. So that's a good result for Range Rover. And also I'll show you how there's a quick drain underneath. And also, I think if I remember correctly, you don't need to jack the car up because I can put it in full lift mode, put some blocks underneath it, put an axle stand as well, just in case the hydraulic shocks on it failed. But I'll just put an axle stand under it, so there's no jacking up. It's quite a quick job to do. Oil and filters cost me £25, so it's an easy one. And I've got a few other little jobs to do in it. I've got a back door lock that's a bit intermittent, locking, not locking. Do you remember those locking wheel nuts, that one that gave me a load of hassle? Well, I've bought new nuts all round, steel ones, and I'll show you the problem with the other ones where they're a steel nut with a stainless cap over it, but it corrodes underneath. So the steel corrodes, swells the stainless steel, then you can't get the socket on. And luckily I found that out parked on the drive, but imagine having a puncture at the side of the road and you can't get the socket on. So we're going to replace all those nuts, replace the back door lock, give it a service. I think there's another job to do. Yeah, fog lights, that's it. Fog lights aren't working as well. And I think that's a little switch underneath on the actual tow bar, because both of them aren't working. So I'll be very surprised if both bulbs have gone, unless it's a fuse. So, car's just outside there. I think you can see up there. Just warming the oil up. Just warming the engine up, I should say, to get the oil warm. And it's, surprisingly, it's a warm day and it's November in the UK, and I've got a t-shirt on. So let's get out there. Oh, honestly, there's even more jobs knocking around here. I did have it tidy and now it's a mess again. New door for my daughter's car in the right colour. That was a bonus. Picked that up for £90, round trip of 200 miles, but it's the right colour, no dints, immaculate. So let's get on with the oil change. So I've got it on blocks, got the suspension on off-road height. I had forgotten there's a steel belly plate on it that we've got to take off, which goes from here to there, and it weighs a ton. I'd forgotten all about that. It's probably a good 2mm steel. So we're going to take these bolts out all the way around. Okay, right, let's get this plate off. Chris is my new tool. Let's see how this works. There we go, belly plate off. Now we're in here, you can see there's a couple of ways of draining the oil. One is to get the drain plug. The other way to do it is simply this quick release connection here. So you just click those. This is a drain from the top of the engine. Unclip them and the oil will come out. It does have a tendency to fly out and hit that first though. So what I might need to do is get a tube on it, because that's the drain there. So there's that there, but that just clips off. So let me get ready and see how much oil I can get all over the drive. So what I'm going to attempt to do here is squeeze these bits here and then get this tube on to try and stem the flow of oil everywhere but into this trough. Right, so there we go. That didn't go too bad, did it? There we go, we got it coming out. So you can see a little bit better now. This is the quick release catch that I've taken off there, which is a drain from the top of the rocker cover or up near somewhere upwards of the engine. It's a lot quicker than taking that out. Just give it a squeeze and the oil is coming out, and amazingly it's landing in there. So whilst we leave that drain, let's go up the top and look at the filter. So the oil filter is quite easy. It's under this cover here. So we're just going to take this cover off, which is on some quick release catches. It's easier with one hand. I mean, it's easier with two hands. I've got to take the oil filter out first. There we go. There, so that's the cover off. We'll talk about this another day. I've seen it's not got petrol. Anyway, that's another video coming soon. So we've got to find the oil filter. Can you spot it? There. So you're really not going to believe me when I show you how easy this is. So the oil's virtually come to an end there now. Got this tube, push it on, and that is it. No drain plug, nothing. Just unclip that. Check it's on, check it's clipped on. Some guard back on, bosh, underneath, done. So, belly plate back on. All done under there. Let's get it down on the floor and change the filter at the top. Now those of you that are paying attention will have realised what I just said, as in let's get it lowered down, get it off the blocks of wood. Can't happen. Why? Because there is no oil in the engine. So I'm stood on a block now to try and reach it while it's in the air. So this is a 32mm socket to get this oil filter out. And it's a cartridge type. So we're probably going to end up with a bit of oil somewhere. So we're best getting a cloth ready. I think you can just see the hands are probably slightly in the way here. So the whole lot comes out there with the filter in the bottom there. So I'm going to put a new filter in. So it's come out there like that. So I'm going to put a new filter in here and then we're ready to go. So there we go, new filter in, new O-ring round there. Give it a wipe down. And that's ready to go back in. So you've got to score JLR, Jaguar Land Rover, highly for this. So now it's a case of just getting the oil back in, all 5.9 litres. And this is number 1. And the only thing that's bad about this is there is no dipstick on it at all. So what we're going to have to do is get 5 litres in, run the engine up, check the oil level on the dashboard. But I think you also have to wait a period of time for the oil to settle, if I remember correctly. So here we go, number 2. If I recall correctly, last time I spent longer resetting the service light and checking the oil level than I did actually replacing the oil and the filter. So there's modern cars for you. Number 3, number 4, number 5, so there we go, 5 litres back in. Let's get it on the floor and then do some final checks. So what I need to do now is remind myself how I check the oil level. Somewhere in this menu. Oil level display. Not available. Now I'm pretty sure that is because it's a period of time we've got to wait for the oil to obviously settle down in the engine and then be read correctly. But this makes your oil check quite annoying to do. So in the meantime, we'll do the reset of the oil, which, from what I remember, is quite a faff of having the bonnet open, having a door open, having a short press the pedal ever so many few times and all the rest of it. So let me read up on that and get back to you. We're going to give resetting the oil service fault light a go. I've had to Google someone else's video to see how you do it, but I remember now. So I've got the bonnet open, you need the driver's door open, you turn the ignition on, and then you press the brake and the accelerator pedal at the same time for 10 seconds. So if I put the ignition on without starting the car, press the brake and the ignition together, apparently he said you then cycle the ignition on and off, and that is it. The service light should have gone. Let's assume we've reset the light. Now let's have a look at the service menu. Oil level display. See, it's not available. I'm sure it's something like 30 minutes you've got to wait. It was something ridiculous. There we go, finally the oil level is come up to just 1 bar below max. To be honest, that's how far I like to take it up. I don't want to take it all the way up to max. It'll be fine like that, just keep an eye on it. That's the bit under here done. Underneath here, put the sticker on for the service. So we're all done now. It's just starting to go dark on a winter's evening. And there we go. Probably took me, I'd say, half an hour to do the oil change and about half an hour to actually reset the oil light. But that's modern cars for you, isn't it? Got a few more bits and pieces to do on this Range Rover. And then actually that's going to be being sold. And I'm moving into different vehicles, which I will tell you more about next time. Okay, thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.